I think it's a really positive thing. It's not something I've ever hidden. I don't see the point in lying about it. And I think everyone who is in the know knows that you can't support yourself straight away. It's not something I publicly advertise, but it's not something I hide either, because it's everyone knows that you can't do this straight away, but for some reason there's this like collusion of silence that it's not talked about, and I think it needs to be talked about more. And one of the things I struggle with working on my practice full time is loneliness. Kind of working away here on my own, it can get very intense in not necessarily in a healthy way. So I find kind of the bits of like retail work I've done have actually been really positive, because going from sort of 3 days spent on my own to then being out and talking to people is actually really, really positive. Um, the periods where I worked solely on my own practice, I have found it quite unhealthy. I drive myself a little bit crazy. So actually having a break is really good. It allows me to reflect and come back with a fresh perspective. So the biggest advantages for me are it's a change or something different. It allows me to be more reflective on what I'm doing in my studio. It gives me a break, because if not, I get too obsessive. The bits of work that are more related to my practice kind of really do feed into my practice and make me grow as a maker and as a creative. I see elements of work as an extension of my practice. I don't see it as an outside thing to do. Kind of working for the BCB and freelancing really help my practice. I find them really inspiring, especially, and teaching as well. It's all like an extension of what I do, and it definitely feeds what I'm doing in my own space and my own work. I think the disadvantages of how I am working are a lack of certainty. Kind of, it can be a bit scary sometimes planning things and sort of like, am I going to have work? Am I going to be able to afford to do this? I do get a bit obsessive about saving money and not spending money, because I don't always know where my next paycheck is coming from. But I don't think I could go back to working solely on one thing, because I really do enjoy the variety. So I think it's a really positive thing to do.